Recently, I made a video about a 401k and why I believe that it is a great investment option for a lot of people and may even be the only retirement account that you need. But there are a few stipulations to that. Number one, it requires you to have access to a 401k plan. And number two, it requires it to be a good 401k plan. The truth is, not everybody has access to a 401k, and even if you do, you might not have the best options in it. So what do you do if you are looking to invest outside of a 401k, or maybe you're just a beginner, you've never invested before, but you want to get started investing and are looking for a great vehicle to do that? Well, I've got great news for you. We're going to be talking about the IRA, or the Individual Retirement Account, what it is, how you can use it. I promise it'll be short and sweet. Hi, my name is Samuel. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming. And if you're not new, thank you for coming back. So an individual retirement account is exactly what it sounds like. An account that you contribute money to, that you can then invest and allow to grow for retirement. That's why I say it's great for a beginning investor. Obviously, it's the goal of everyone to have a good retirement. And if you want to have a good retirement, the sooner you get started on saving for it, the better. And that's why I say a great option for someone looking to begin investing would be an IRA, because it kills two birds with one stone. You are learning how to invest while saving for retirement. Those are two great things. Now, before we get too far into this, I'll remind you, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. You should always do your own research before investing in anything, but I hope you enjoy the video and learn something from it. So in the year 2023, you can contribute up to a maximum of $6,500 into an IRA. But if you're 50 years old or older, you can make an additional $1,000 contribution to your IRA, bringing the total up to $7,500 in total contributions. Now, there are some income requirements, and not everybody is eligible for an IRA. So if you aren't sure, you should do your own research before opening and contributing. Now that that disclaimer is out of the way. Similar to a 401k, there are two types of IRAs. There is a traditional IRA and there is a Roth IRA. The traditional IRA is going to be money that you put in pre-taxes. So let's say that you make $100,000 a year and you contribute the $6,500 to a traditional IRA. That means the IRS is only going to tax you on that $93,500, giving you the write-off of $6,500. But when you go to pull that money out of your IRA, then the IRS is going to tax you for it. Whereas a Roth IRA, you're making that contribution after you have paid taxes. So if you make $100,000 a year and you contribute the full $6,500, you're still paying taxes on $100,000 a year. But when you retire and pull money out of your Roth IRA, that money is not going to be taxed. This is very powerful for young people, because let's say you are 25 years old and just starting in your career. You plan to work until you're 65 years old and you want to max out your IRA every single year. So from the time you are 25 until the time you retire at 65, you're putting in $6,500 a year. And just to keep this simple, we're not going to increase the contribution limit, even though the limit will increase in time. On your 65th birthday, as you retire, assuming a 6% rate of return, you will have about $1,032,000. But of that $1,032,000, you will have only made contributions of $260,000. The rest of that is growth from compound earnings, meaning that you put in a total of $260,000 and you paid tax on that money. And that money grew tax-free by $772,000, meaning that you get a tax break of around 6 figures. That's pretty nice. Now, it's an individual decision as to whether or not a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA fits your situation and meets your needs. And I encourage you, before you make any decisions, think through it, do your own research, and maybe even talk to a financial advisor. You want to make sure that you understand the tax liability and consequences of any of the decisions that you make. And that's not something you're going to find in this video, because I'm not a CPA and the IRS frankly terrifies me. Another benefit to an IRA over a 401k is while your investment options in a 401k are going to be limited by your plan's administrator, you really have limitless options in an IRA. If you're opening with one of the big three brokers, Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab, or you even use others, you're going to have an limitless supply of funds available to invest in. And while that's a good thing in that you're not going to be limited to bad funds, it can also be a challenging thing for someone who is new because the options are overwhelming. But if you watched any of my content before, you know that I am a huge fan of broad market index funds, low cost index funds. That's something like an S&P 500 or a total stock market fund. There are all sorts of them out there. And if you're looking at getting started with investing, I would take a good hard look at some of these low cost index funds and their performance over time. But ultimately, the decision is up to you. Another benefit to an IRA is this is something that isn't reliant on anyone else. You can go and open one up today, assuming that you fall within the income limits. Now, I get absolutely nothing for saying this, but I'm a fan of Fidelity. I use Fidelity for my own IRA and other accounts. If you go to Fidelity's website and open up an IRA using the code Fidelity100 and then invest $50 into your IRA, they will give you $100 that you can then invest. That's a 200% rate of return right off the bat, and that's pretty good. So it's something that you can do quickly, online, hassle-free. Just make sure when you do contribute to your IRA that you choose a fund to invest it in, because investing is where the magic compound return comes from. Some people just contribute to an IRA, don't realize that you need to invest your money, and it doesn't really grow. So whenever you do make a contribution to your IRA, you want to make sure that you are putting it in a fund that you are familiar with and choose to invest in. So that wraps up the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, go ahead and give the video a like, thumbs up, really helps us out. And subscribe to the channel. We'll be back again next Tuesday with more great content. See you then.